Does Houston deserve to drop down to the top team in the A tier? And has Arizona proven that no team is on their level?
Kevin, are we going to start ranking some of these Big 12 teams?
Let's do it, man. Let's get into our Big 12 tier rankings for this week. Kansas State off the rip. This team is so bad. Shout out my label. That's me. K-State in tier D.
Horrible team. You lost to ASU when you had everything on the line.
Indeed. K-State, you stink. West Virginia. Where should we put West Virginia? Now, I actually think West Virginia has done enough to move up in the C tier. Now, you're like, whoa, this team just got destroyed by Arizona, right? Like, this team does not deserve to be moving up. But in my opinion, I think West Virginia is moving up in the C tier basically because some other C tier teams have fallen down into the D tier, in my opinion, as we will discuss going forward. So I think West Virginia belongs still in the C tier, but maybe in the higher upper echelon of the C tier.
I think that's fair based off their body of work this season. They got a big week coming up here, Kevin. They play Kansas State and Baylor, both at home. I think that both of those games are going to really impact our viewpoint of West Virginia, the national viewpoint of West Virginia. Are they the type of team that could make a tournament?
Moving on, Damon, we got Arizona State, D tier. D tier program, D tier coach, D tier all of it, Damon. Do you agree?
Yes. ASU, Bobby's done. I'm sad. Bobby, hashtag Bobby forever.
I was going to say real quick before we move on from ASU,
yeah.
I think that we should even have them above K-State in this ranking.
Yeah, they beat K-State.
They beat K-State. K-State might end up being the worst team on this here tier list when it's all said and done.
They also beat Cincinnati. Can we do Cincinnati right now?
Yeah, let's do Cincinnati right now.
We tried to show
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati a little bit more respect last week. That was on me and Kevin. That was on us. Because now we look like idiots with egg on our face as Cincinnati gets worked by ASU, worked by the Arizona State Sun Devils right after Bobby Hurley is complaining about how I just can't get these guys to buy in. I mean, I think that they like each other off the court more than they like each other on the court. Cincinnati sucks, man. Like, they just went out and recruited a bunch of long athletes that are great at defense that can't put the ball in the basket. And it shows. They cannot score.
I hear you, Damon. Below Arizona State.
I'm back on Cincinnati sucks, dude. I take back our apology from last week.
Texas Tech. Where do we got the Red Raiders? What a win over Houston, getting revenge for their most recent loss to Houston. Where do we got the Red Raiders at?
Top 8 tier? I mean, they were at home. I think that does factor in for me. Texas Tech is one of the toughest environments to play in the country. And I think that they are the type of team, I've said this all season, like, they can beat anybody. If JT Toppin and Christian Anderson are firing, they can beat anybody. And they can go toe-to-toe with the Houstons, the Arizonas, the Iowa States of the world, just with essentially 2 players and me, Kevin, and Noah Woolbrook playing with the other 3 positions on the floor. I think that Texas Tech is, that, like I said, they're just good enough to beat anybody. They belong at the top of the A tier for me.
I agree. I think they're at the very, very tippy top of the A tier. This is about as damn close to an S tier team, in my opinion, right now, as the Big 12 has that is not in the S tier already. Texas Tech, like you said, can be anybody on any given night. You got to love what they have with their top-end talent as well. JT Toppin, Christian Anderson. That Texas Tech team is a force to be reckoned with, Damon Dog.
Number 11 in the country.
The Arizona Wildcats. Our beloved Arizona Wildcats.
Stick him at number 1, Kevin. Put him where the Wildcats belong.
Yeah.
Number 1 team in the country, number 1 team in the Big 12, without a question. Shout out Texas Tech for getting a big win against Houston this weekend. That does help Arizona because now Houston has a conference loss. And Texas Tech is sitting there with 1 loss as well. But I just think it's more likely that Texas Tech loses games than Houston does if we're really trying to compare what the conference, is going to, what these games mean for the conference. So
yeah, for sure. Unanimous number 1 team in the country, undefeated, just beat BYU on the road, number 13 in the country. Arizona, number 1 with a bullet, in my opinion.
Let's move on to another team on this list. Why don't we go ahead and do Utah and just get them out of the way?
This is another D-tier team, Damon. Welcome to the D-tier Utah.
1-6, but when I faded them against BYU, they found a way to keep that one close, so that was fun.
Are we sure they're worse than K-State?
No, I'm not sure they're worse than K-State. They have the exact same record, but yeah, Utah, just not a good team.
I almost want to put K-State last here.
Okay.
And move Utah 1 notch above them, only because I think Kansas State might have given up
already.
I'm kind of joking. Like, I say it in jest, like I say it tongue in cheek. And so I think that this is the worst team right now in the Big 12, K-State. And I think Utah is just one tier ahead of them. We're talking about a first-year head coach in Alex Jensen, who's coaching at one of the worst programs in the conference right now and trying to level it up. Meanwhile, their rival from just miles away is absolutely killing it in NIL. They have the number 1 pick. Like, there's a lot going against Utah in this conference right now. K-State does not have all that going against them, and they're still failing to succeed. So I think Utah is the second worst team right now in the Big 12, and the K-State is actually the worst. Baylor. Now, Baylor to me
Another
is
trash team.
Yes, but the crazy part is, like, why is Baylor trash?
It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Why are they bad? Tunde Yesufu is awesome. He's a dog. Someone please save Tunde Yesufu from this hellscape that is Baylor and Scott Drew. And you know what, Damon? I'll go one step further. I do think I actually know exactly why Baylor is not thriving. I know exactly why Baylor is not succeeding in the ways in which that they want to, Damon. Bad karma, straight up. You bring James Najee into the program, that earns you, in my opinion, a D-tier ranking.
I mean, they're 1-6 right now. They're tied with Utah and Kansas State. Like, I think if you're an ASU or a Cincinnati fan, you could be like, wait, we're behind these bums? But I agree with you. I'm looking at their schedule right now, Kevin, and it is somewhat respectable. Now, here's where they really effed up. They got swept by TCU, both at home and on the road. And they couldn't lose both those games, I think, and have any shot of making the tournament.
Moving on, we got Houston, Damon Dog. Now, I have a question for you. I asked you earlier if Texas Tech deserves a shout at the S tier for defeating Houston. Does Houston deserve to drop down to the top team in the A tier? And has Arizona proven that no team is on their level? I know that we consider Houston the bar, and I know we have yet to play Houston. That Grim Reaper might be coming up quite soon here in the month of February, but there's only one undefeated team in the conference, and Texas Tech is looking up at Houston on our list like, we beat these dudes. What are they doing up there?
If Arizona had lost that game last night, would they be out of the S tier right now? If Rob Wright's shot at the end goes in, are you sitting up here going, this is an A tier team? All of a sudden, we got to drop them down a level? Because I think there's almost nothing more respectable than finding a way to get a road W in Lubbock, in Provo.
I agree.
And you know, Houston, yeah, they lose that game, but they showed a lot in that game. I'm not willing to say that that's a loss that makes me think less about Houston as a team. I think that's about as respectable as a loss as it possibly can get. But if you're a Texas Tech fan and you're seeing that and you're upset by it, I completely understand that. Like, that's warranted, in my opinion, for you to be riding for your team saying, we got the same record as them in this conference. We just beat them. We've split with them. We are every bit as good as that team. Texas Tech can make its way into the S tier, but yeah, I got a two-team race at the top here in the Big 12 until I see something otherwise.
I think it's a good conversation, but I do not think that Houston has done enough to fall out of the S tier. I still think we got two S tier teams in this conference right now, and it's Arizona and it's Houston. Next up, we got UCF. This is, again, potentially the lone B tier team. Damon, do you agree?
Yes. The B tier, for some reason, in the Big 12 has been interesting as of recently, Kevin. It's been very scarce, very not very populated.
On to TCU, Damon. TCU, in my opinion, C tier still.
Yes, I agree with you. TCU is a C tier team. I think they have the opportunity still to potentially rise higher. I mean, they did take care of business against Baylor, which, you know, as I'm saying about Baylor, like, massive for TCU, right? They are 3-4 in conference, and they've beat Baylor twice. And they've kept themselves afloat. Losing to Utah is unacceptable.
Yeah, you can't lose to Utah and be a tournament team.
If you could probably even make the argument that they might belong in the B tier if they didn't lose to Utah.
BYU, in my opinion, after the loss to Arizona, there is no shame in that game. Even though you lost at home, you lose to the number one team in the country. No shame in that game. You showed great fight coming back from 19 down, just like you did at past points in this year. This is an A-tier team still, but behind Texas Tech.
Yes, they fall behind Texas Tech for me as well.
We got Oklahoma State next up, Damon. Where are we doing with the Cowboys? Because this is, I feel like, another bubble team in the sense of we like what they have talent-wise at Oklahoma State. I believe in Steve Lutz is what he's building down there right now, but they have not had the results. You lose to Iowa State, you lose to TCU. Your wins so far in conference play are Kansas State and UCF. Losses to Texas Tech, Iowa State, Baylor, TCU, Iowa
Baylor.
State. Yeah.
That's Baylor's one win.
Yeah. I feel like this is the lowest on the C tier, in my opinion. Where are you at?
I'm with you. TCU beat them by 3 on the road, or I guess it was at Fort Worth. But I think that they're really neck and neck, and I like TCU a little bit better.
Kansas,
tough ass team to rank, honestly, truly. Like this team, I feel like it might be the most difficult, Kevin.
It really might be because they have such boom or bust potential on a night-to-night basis.
Like how good are they truly? How far in a tournament could they get? I think that's all very up in the air. I think it's like they could lose first round. I wouldn't be shocked. They could lose in the Final Four, and I wouldn't be shocked. Like that is truly the type of team you're saying boom or bust that I think Kansas is.
I think we keep Kansas where we had them last week. Do you agree? End of the A tier for KU.
Yes, I think that's fair for now. Now you go play 3 of your next 4 games against BYU, Texas Tech, and Arizona. We're going to see what Kansas is made out of in that stretch, Kevin.
Iowa State, Damon, I think this is still an A-tier team. Do you feel differently?
No, I think Iowa State is still very good. We disrespected them a little bit, way more than we disrespected Cincinnati in our kind of preseason takes on these teams, and they're solid. I'm not scared of Iowa State, though. I'll say that, and maybe I should be. Maybe I'm underselling them a little bit, but they scare me less than, say, a Kansas does.
Damon, I think we've already almost finished this. We got one team left.
Absolutely.
Colorado. Welcome to the D tier, my friends. Tad, capital D Boyle, is in the D tier behind Baylor, in my opinion. Do you agree? Do you agree on the placement of one Colorado this week?
Yeah, they're not the worst team. They're also not very good. So they're 2-5 in conference. They're 12-8 overall. They've lost 5 straight here in the conference, Kevin.
Golly.
Albeit all of those teams except Cincinnati are pretty decent teams with winning records. I think that they're a step above like the ASUs, the Utahs of the world, but they're not much above that.
There you have it, our Big 12 tier list for this week. We got Arizona and Houston in the S tier by themselves. Texas Tech, BYU, Iowa State, KU in the A tier. KU, let's see what you're made of. UCF in the B tier by themselves, all alone, gangs all here, and it's just 3 letters, UCF. The C tier is populated by West Virginia, TCU, and Oklahoma State, and a pretty packed D tier this week between Baylor, Colorado, Arizona State, and the 3 worst teams in the conference, Cincinnati, Utah, and Kansas State. Let us know what we got right, wrong, indifferent in the chat down below.